Welcome to Raising the Standards. Kobe with you. Good to have you on this Saturday. Hello, Miss Rachel.
Hi, happy Saturday.
Happy Saturday to you, little Bando.
Hello, we made it.
Bando.
Sal Bando.
Sal was thinking of the eight. You were talking baseball earlier. Well, it's nice to have everybody in the studio. It's been a little while since we've all been together, and we're all off next week. So,
happy 4th of July.
Happy 4th of July to you.
Do you have your decorations up?
No, it's 4th of July. I start the day by saying to my dogs, "You're going to be hanging around today." We are not. We're going to go play all day, and then they come in with their tails down and go, "Can we just sit next to you?"
Oh, because the
Forever.
fireworks.
If there's a gun or fire, they can't take it.
That is,
it's sad.
So I'm kind of Scroogey. I feel like I like the 4th of July, I like the parade, I like the decorations. Mm-hmm. I feel like the fireworks are superfluous to the holiday. I don't think they're necessary. No. I think they create a lot of pollution. It's a fire danger, and it upsets the animals. And personally, I think that they should cease.
Oh, fireworks are so much fun, though.
I understand your feeling.
Have you had your own little firework thing, like where you go out and buy fireworks? Oh, you never had that experience growing up?
Maybe that's the problem.
Oh, yeah, you were a deprived child.
I don't understand it.
This is like point counterpoint.
Do you like to
I don't think we should have fireworks. Jane, you slut.
Do you like to light fireworks?
I did as a kid.
You did as a kid.
Yeah, before I lost my left hand. No, I used to. Well, see, the Midwest we're not quite as bright.
It's a little different.
Midwest,
it's just different.
We used to get in a big field. We'd all have a box of illegal. Mm-hmm. Well, they're legal back there.
Exactly.
And we'd have Roman candles and MAUs, and we'd throw them like grenades and catch them and throw them. Oh, it was crazy. Aww. Yeah, I miss some of those guys. Yeah. But it was good training just before Vietnam when we left.
Well.
Anyway.
That's a good call.
Good show today. We're going to talk to our dear friend, John Fitzpatrick, from the Eliza Jane Hotel. And who knows, as you know, everything about New Orleans.
Well, I have heard some New Orleans interviews, and I've learned a lot.
We have learned a lot.
I've never been.
We're going to learn a lot more today because we're going to ask him what is true of loss of New Orleans. Somebody just edited that. Someone just sent me a text that says, "Turn your microphone on."
You were multitasking.
I'm assuming it's on.
Maybe he needs to go up a little bit, Brandon.
No, I think I'm fine. But
I hear you.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. I can hear him.
Anyway, I can hear you way too loud.
Oh, I'm way too loud?
Way too loud.
Okay.
So I'm supposed to have the deepest voice on this show.
You do.
And let's keep it that way, just so we're clear.
Okay.
Anyway, so John's going to be with us and talk about New Orleans
and
talk about. As a matter of fact, here's a text from John. Is he on hold? The phone is busy. He's saying.
I'm still trying to log into the studio.
Yeah.
Well, another thing you can do, Michael, is have him call you, and we'll just plug you in.
I think it's
the phone jack is right there.
The audience is into this rehearsal. I think that's
just
wonderful.
Grab that cord and then plug that into your phone, and then just give him a ringy dingy. And then Brandon, all you have to do is pot up that cord. That's all we're going to
have to do. So we'll give John Fitzpatrick a call.
You give him a little ring.
Why don't you chat for a second while I'm doing all the work?
What did I get up to this week?
Law school.
I've been going to school, and let's see what else. It's lovely outside today near my house. It's a little bit. I can't see because we're in like this
dungeon.
I know for some reason that window. I'm going to open those blinds while we're at it here. But I am really looking forward to the parade. Okay. The Aptos parade is on the way. And 4th of July in general.
Good. So we've got that going for us. Let's see if we've got John.
Is John there?
Well, you gotta call him.
It should be ringing.
Yeah. No, he's gone.
Yeah. Let's try it just one more time. This is one of the lovely things about this show is that. Okay. There you are.
There we go.
There we go.
With us on the line and. Fashionably late.
Good job, Brandon.
Yeah, we figured it out.
Yeah. Next time we'll try to figure that out prior to the show.
Well, you can't put him on speakerphone.
We'll talk about that. Anyway, John, thank you for waiting. John Fitzpatrick from the Eliza Jane and Hotel in New Orleans, my favorite New Orleans hotel, and certainly one of my favorite people on the planet that know all there is to know about New Orleans. But we will preface those questions and that wisdom with, and I don't know if you know about this, Rachel. John went through a rather serious medical situation recently. Tell us what happened, if you don't mind.
Yeah, well, it happened in the middle of March. Basically, make a long story short, I lost the vision in my right eye.
Oh no.
It was a form of sudden onset or acute angle glaucoma. The pressure built up in the eye, damaged the optic nerve, and although they tried several things, it turned out that I'm permanently blind in my right eye now.
Forgive how I'm phrasing this question, but it's not something you saw coming.
No, no, you're
Yeah.
right. It was sudden, and I'd had very little warning of anything. I had some pain, and then it kind of blinked out. I got to the doctor, and I spent the whole day between two different hospitals, and then after I got done with that, I got to go back the next day and tried various things. Remember that little thing you do when you're a kid, and you say, "Cross my heart, hope to die."
Yeah.
Right.
What's the next line?
Stick a needle in my eye.
That's what
Yes,
it felt like.
well, I've had 2 needles stuck in my
Oh,
eyes.
God.
My Lord.
Yeah,
Well, God bless you.
That's something you don't think about.
Well-
But I've got a spiffy new eye patch, and I can be a pirate for every Halloween now.
True.
Nice. What a talent.
And Mardi Gras. So yeah, that's adjusting. It takes about a year to adjust to the loss of depth perception, 3D vision. It affects your motion. It affects 2 things that I didn't even think about. It affects your balance,
Yeah.
and it affects your night vision.
Oh, I can well believe that. Can you still drive at night?
Well,
Not if
the
other
state
people
of
are on the
Louisiana
road.
says that I can drive, but my wife won't let me.
Good for her.
And
Yeah.
I think she's pretty smart about that because, I can't see on my right side, and therefore that's a problem with merging traffic. So I'm going to ease
Just a
into
bit.
that slowly, very slowly.
Well,
And
That's
I'm not even worried about that now.
Rachel,
such a
John,
challenge.
John is one of the great nappy dressers you will ever
yeah.
meet. And knowing him all these years, I said, it's such a great fashion icon. What could make it
Cool.
better? And I realized
the
an
eye
eye patch. That's it.
Absolutely.
Eye patch.
So it's gone from very hip concierge to maybe Secret Service or
Totally.
maybe
Very
there's
cool.
a little CIA.
I'll tell you what
that-
somebody said. I'm wearing my seersucker today, and I wear that with different combinations of colors, like pinks. I have pink shoes, and different things. And someone said one day when I was wearing my seersucker and dressed up as always, said, "You look like the villain in a James Bond
yeah?
movie directed by Wes Anderson."
That's a great point.
Oh, I love that.
I'd watch that.
Well, that having been said, we're going to
Yes, sir.
enable our 007, at least in search of a license to entertain. And there is no more entertaining place on the planet than New Orleans. But and as I mentioned to you the other day, we're going to talk a little today about there are a few misconceptions. So what we're going to do is we're going to go back and forth, something that you should know that maybe you don't know that will surprise you about New Orleans, and something that you believe that isn't true about New Orleans.
Interesting.
So let's talk about one of the great kept secret about the Big Easy that a lot of people don't know.
Well, there's a lot.
Okay.
I mean, first of all, I think that although the downtown is very compact and easy to get around and easy to walk around, it's actually a very large city. It's about 360 square miles. And there's a lot outside the downtown, and many people don't even get out of the downtown.
Or the French
we
Quarter, for that matter.
Correct. We have a national wildlife refuge in the city.
There you go.
Where you can go and see all these birds and all this wildlife. We have the lakefront with the lighthouse and all the restaurants and the huge picnic areas out there.
Cool.
We have City Park, which is a 1,500-acre municipal park. It's huge. It's 1.5 times the size of Central Park. We have one of the great outdoor art exhibits in the world, the Bestoff Sculpture Garden, which is in City Park. We have a fantastic aquarium. We have a very popular and very well-run zoo. St. Charles Avenue, which a lot of people get to see on the streetcar, may not know that it's not just full of beautiful mansions, but all kinds of amazing architecture. So there's so much. And my neighborhood, the Marigny, right outside the French Quarter, is mostly residential, but there are little areas over there popping up with all kinds of stuff and becoming a new place to go at night. So,
Wow.
I mean, there's so much. There's so much in the city.
And John, you have, from my visits there, you've certainly turned us on to, and as marvelous as the restaurants are in the Quarter, there are great restaurants throughout the city, and particularly the little neighborhood places out in the parishes and stuff. And that's something that people need to discover and understand, because you need to take a walk, in that case, off the wild side, and get out into town. That having been said, those are some of the secrets that people maybe overlook. Let's talk about what people believe about New Orleans that frankly isn't true. But I'm going to say the heat at this time of the year probably is an accurate fact, right?
The heat is brutal. Here's the thing. If you're planning to come to New Orleans in the summer, there's some good things about it. Number one, generally hotel rooms and flights are inexpensive. And if you're smart and you stay hydrated and you keep yourself inside the air conditioning, you're going to be okay. But every day it's in the 90s, high humidity with an afternoon thunderstorm.
Wow.
That's the weather from June to September. In October, it dries up. But June to September, that's the weather. And it is really, I walk through the French Quarter twice a day in seersucker. I wouldn't do it in anything else. It's really hot, and you feel it as soon as you walk out the door. And there's nothing like having to go for a walk in the French Quarter when we're walking into that blasting air conditioning, which feels so good.
Well,
so good.
Yeah, I've got to tell you, though, there is, although be it a short-lived charm, but going out in that temperature with a sudden thunderstorm is kind of charming.
I think so.
It is.
Warm rain, you get all that
Yeah,
stuff.
after 8 minutes, it loses its charm.
That would be a little more
If you
difficult.
want to get back in. Okay, so tell me some of the things that people believe about New Orleans that frankly aren't true.
Well, I think there's this impression that since we're known for our nightlife on Bourbon Street, there's this kind of idea that we have this 24-hour nightlife going everywhere in the city. That's not true. We don't have closing times in New Orleans, so yeah, you could stay open 24 hours a day, and there are some areas where you can do that. One thing that I run into a lot, because this affects a lot of guests, is that people assume that you can drink on the street, but only on Bourbon Street. No, you can drink on the street anywhere in the city.
I did not know
That's
that.
not just
That's
a
fun.
tourist spot.
Wow.
That is within the city or parish, Orleans Parish, New Orleans city, within those limits, you can drink on the street as long as it's not in a glass container, anywhere, anytime.
Can John, can a passenger drink in a car?
Well, yeah.
So there you can. I know we're not suggesting
Really?
it, but
Yeah.
you can
Yeah,
have an open container in a car.
Well, not technically. We do have
okay.
drive-through. We do have drive-through daiquiri shops.
Right.
What?
Yeah.
Yeah. So here's how it works: you pull up, you order your daiquiri. It comes in a big cup with a piece of tape over the straw hole, and the straw is in a plastic wrapper.
Okay.
If you break the tape on the lid and you take the straw out of the wrapper, you now have an open container. That's not allowed.
Interesting.
But nobody would ever do that.
No, I can imagine
no.
that.
Yeah, you can pull up, order a daiquiri, get it in your car, and take off.
Wow,
Interesting.
how very civilized.
Gosh.
Yeah.
Indeed.
We had a second of
Indeed.
that during COVID, but
That's-
went away.
I would think, let me throw in a misconception. The whole idea that it's always as crowded as Mardi Gras, which, and you and I have
no.
talked about the
Yeah.
line, the Uber driver who described Mardi Gras to me as a
Anthill.
human anthill. So it's not like that. And I go in December, and boy, it is lovely and taking strolls,
Yeah.
but it's not packed.
No, I mean, so the city, I'm not talking about the metro, but just the city of New Orleans has about 390,000 people in it. On Mardi Gras weekend, we'll get another 1,000,000 people added on top of that.
Okay.
And that's why Mardi Gras, you can't move. Royal Street is just a solid mass of people. Bourbon Street in the evening, same thing. But we also have this is something that people should seek out if they're down here for Mardi Gras. We have neighborhood Mardi Gras. Down the Marigny, there are places where people gather, and in other neighborhoods as well. So there's more than just the French Quarter for Mardi Gras. Some of the little neighborhood celebrations are just as cool.
All
right.
Very cool.
Interesting. And also the misconception, the quarter, Bourbon Street is Bourbon Street.
Right.
Bourbon Street is a lot of liquor and hosing down whatever in the mornings. But around the corner, the French Quarter is antique shops, art galleries, is beautiful area.
Yeah, Royal Street is filled with antique shops and art. And in fact, the largest antique showroom in the country is located on Royal Street. And it's got artworks that sell for millions. And it's got all kinds of amazing things. There's a lot of great history. The French Quarter also contains, the oldest building in the Mississippi River Valley. It contains the Louisiana Supreme Court building, which is very impressive. There's an awful lot of history. And I think one thing that people discover when they get here is that Bourbon Street is Bourbon Street, and it's not the whole quarter is not like that. In fact, it's only between the 200 and 1,000 blocks of Bourbon or 900 blocks of Bourbon. That's the Strip, and then after that, the rest of Bourbon Street is residential. So it's not the quarter. And it's not even all of Bourbon Street. There's a lot of wonderful history. There's a lot of great stuff. We have excellent museums in the quarter. And frankly, as a local, I don't spend any time on Bourbon Street, really, unless I'm walking home.
Do you ever go to Frenchman Avenue for music and stuff like that? Is that still a place?
Frenchman Street?
Yeah, Frenchman Street.
In fact, I live half a block off Frenchman Street.
Perfect.
It's a great place to hear music at night. Listen, John, I've got about 3 or 4 minutes. And it's wonderful to hear about all the things you can do that I haven't thought of doing in the Crescent City. But it would just be nice if there were a great place to stay there. That's probably all we're missing. Wait a minute. The Eliza Jane. Tell me about that.
Yes. Well, it's part of the Hyatt Unbound collection. It is a historic structure. It's actually 10 different buildings that were mostly warehouses in the 19th century that are joined together. It's a beautiful place inside and out. And the main part of it used to be the headquarters of the Times-Picayune or the Daily Picayune newspaper. And Eliza Jane Nicholson was the first woman to run a major newspaper in the United States. She did a lot of innovations. And so the building and the hotel, it's all about, the legacy of the printed word and the legacy of the press and also Peychaud's Bitters. The Peychaud's Bitters factory used to be in the building too. So it's a great location. It's 5 minutes from the French Quarter, and it's in what we call the CBD, the Central Business District. A lot of these buildings used to be warehouses for the port, things like that. So it's It's comfy. We have a wonderful bar and restaurant. And the courtyard. People love our courtyard. So it's got a lot of good things about it.
Well, you are certainly preaching to the choir, and in turn preaching to a larger choir. I haven't been a guest there the last 2 years, and hope to be there again this December. And we'll talk
indeed.
more about it as we get closer. But the Eliza Jane is one marvelous venue, and it's a hop, skip, and a half track from one of my favorite places, the World War II, the National World War II
yes.
Museum. So you're right in between there. You're between history and frivolity, with because you're halfway between the two in Bourbon Street. So it is magnificent. You are such a joy to chat with, my friend. We are glad you are doing well, and with all the little Mardi Gras in the neighborhoods, and with your propensity for going in drag during these.
Nice.
Have you got a costume that it's Lady Gaga with an eye patch, or what are you doing?
I'm working on it. We still have time for Halloween
Good.
and Mardi Gras. I have to coordinate with my wife on that.
Oh, love
and
it.
We'll figure it out.
It's-
But first, we're going to Europe in July, and that's the big thing.
Oh,
So,
great. Well, have a safe
through
trip.
that.
And I can only imagine some new version of Captain Hook.
Have fun.
something like that. Yes.
John Fitzpatrick, thank you, my friend.
Thank you.
Thank you for
Have a
having
good
me on.
afternoon.
Have a great day.
Take care.
You too.
Bye-bye.
Oh, he's lovely. I forgot you guys talked about that last year. He's fashion, Mr.
Oh, he
Fashion.
is. Oh, he's
Yeah,
just
for
great.
Mardi Gras. Yeah,
Very
yeah.
cool. Oh, I love it.
Yeah.
And now, again, it's my Lord, how awful to lose your vision and eye, but
My
boy,
dad
that eye
did.
patch is cool. I
My
gotta
dad
tell you,
lost his
it is
vision.
a great
No,
look.
the eye patch is cool. My dad doesn't wear an eye patch, but he lost his vision. in
Oh,
one
did
eye.
he?
Oh,
Yeah.
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 It's the scariest.
I would
didn't-
wear a patch. I have a buddy that had same thing happen to him, and I think I'd wear an eye patch.
It's cool. My dad has a torn retina, so it he's still he can see he gets flashes of light, but it takes a long time for your eyes to adjust. It's very it's kind of depressing, honestly.
Yeah, I
He
can well
definitely
believe
was
it.
really down for a while.
Yeah.
And at the same time, he had injured his Achilles, so he couldn't walk he couldn't do his walks, which I think really helps with your mental health when you can walk.
I had a buddy
So-
years ago that lost an eye, and you had the
A glass eye put
glass
in.
eye. He was a saxophone player.
Okay.
And he would do a solo and it would pop out. And roll
Totally.
under. It would roll under stuff, and it was rough.
Yeah. There's a
But we
kid-
played golf together. And he was a terrible putter after he lost his eye. And finally, I said to him, "Which eye do you line the ball up with?" I go, "That's not the one with vision." He goes, "Oh, that's right." And I cheered him.
Well, it's got to be
Hang
such
on
a
one
weird
second.
mental
Are we
thing.
okay? Sal Pizarro was going to call. Are we okay with the phone in?
We'll just have him call your
Yeah,
phone.
let's
Well,
on the phone.
that's given the idea that he may be listening. I'm just wondering if we can take him through the board, if that's possible.
Oh, you'd rather? Well,
Yeah.
Mr. Sassy.
If we're set up to do it.
Well, I deleted it. Let me log back
He's a
in.
little
Fine.
sassy.
Anyway,
You could maybe. Well, I don't know. You guys figure it out. It's not my
now
show.
that's
It's not my-
no,
It's not my.
you have no idea how much
circus.
this is your show. Today. there is so much responsibility for this show today with you.
Well, and then I went to high school with a kid who had a glass eye, and he would take his eye out sometimes and show it around school.
Yeah.
Which was kind of exciting. But you know what my dad said that I didn't want to say to John, but he had said when he first lost vision in one eye, he said, well, it's kind of scary is I only have one left. And that's something that I had not considered at the time. I mean, that is scary.
That is
to have
scary.
lost one, now
Indeed.
you got one down. Oh, it's hard.
So
But-
let's see if we've got.
I think you've got Sal.
Sal.
I think we got
Do I
Sal
have
on
Sal?
the phone, Brando. You can turn him up.
Brandon, you
on
can turn him
Jacoby's
up
phone.
here.
Oh, he's calling?
Yeah.
Perfect.
Sal, we got you there, buddy.
He's there.
I'm here.
All right,
Easy.
I'm delighted. You're okay for 10 or 15 minutes? 'Cause
I'm okay for 10 or 15
I
minutes.
got to tell you quickly. And I wanted to let you in on this because I want you to follow up on this. I had the good fortune yesterday of going on the Potomac,
Oh,
which
yeah.
is Franklin
The sailing
Roosevelt's
boat, yes.
presidential yacht.
Right.
You would love this, Sal. You got to see this. It's in Jack London Square, and there is such a great story about the yacht, which decommissioned after FDR's death.
Okay.
And then Truman sold it to the state of Maryland.
Okay.
And then Maryland sold it to somebody else. Somehow it sank in Barbados. Elvis got it.
What?
And then Elvis, this is insane.
Shut up.
And then Elvis gave it to Danny Thomas so he could do a fundraiser for St. Jude. But they didn't want it, so they got rid of it. Fast forward, it ends up on the West Coast, gets popped for 50 tons of weed, running drugs off Treasure Island.
Shut up.
Confiscated it, sank again. Then they bring it up. Elliot Roosevelt, the president's son, talks Reagan into giving him $2.5 million, and they totally refurbish it, and it is all teak decks. And Sal, and they said, you call them, I'll get you the number. It's a 2-hour cruise on the presidential yacht out by Alcatraz under the bridge, and it is
beautiful,
just marvelous, and
wow.
It's an opportunity to actually sail on history.
How cool!
Wow, that's amazing.
And then,
and I don't want to make light of it, but it's handicap accessible.
Oh
obviously.
yes.
Wow.
Now wait a minute. That's another thing. Okay, there are 2 smokestacks on it, right?
Good call.
One of the smokestacks is a smokestack. The other is a fake smokestack.
Oh,
That inside is an elevator,
shut
and
up.
it is. But it's not. It's like a dumb. What are those?
Dumbwaiter.
Called? Dumbwaiter. And the president, who was very strong physically, obviously his shoulders, you could fit one chair on it. You fit his wheelchair, and he would pull himself up with ropes.
That's so cool.
To get to the second level.
Wow, that's incredible.
Wow.
It's just amazing.
It's 2 hours.
You could do a 2 or a 3 hour cruise.
Okay, see, I like a time on a boat.
Yeah,
you know,
and it's fascinating. And I talked to his grandson, Ford Roosevelt, who named after 2 presidents.
Yeah.
Who knew? And we're going to have him on the air in a couple of
Roosevelt.
weeks. But a fascinating.
Wow, that
story.
sounds great.
That's amazing.
Anyway, as a matter of fact, when I was talking to the people up there, they said that I think the Mercury or your group of newspapers is doing something in the summer about summer on the water, and they're doing a big piece on it.
So, yeah, I think we are one of our
That's good.
magazines. Yeah,
Very cool.
Wow, great.
We'll get you out there. I think you enjoyed it. That having been said, Sal Pizarro, who is the author of the shockingly popular
Round Town.
Around Town, a column in the Mercury. Normally you're here with CineQuest, but you're here on your own today, and we're delighted to have you. And that having been said, it certainly begs the question, what's happening in San Jose for summer?
Good question.
What is happening in San Jose for summer? So, well, I just finished up running. I know you're a golfer, Michael, but I ran a 5K race this morning for the Stars and Strides run. There's 2,700 people out there running through downtown San Jose. So that was today. But there's a lot going on. The big thing, of course, is an event you and I both like, San Jose Jazz's Summerfest.
Yeah.
That's going to be the highlight of the summer in August. And they've got a great lineup this year. Common is coming on Friday night.
Very cool.
Mavis Staples is going to close out the festival on Sunday. And the Preservation Hall Band is going to be there on Saturday. So, and of course, they've got dozens of other performers throughout the weekend.
Oh,
Totally
it's
cool.
our friend Bruce is still doing that, right?
Yep, Bruce Lavity. It's his 35th year.
And he's also
programming that
helping
festival.
he's helping with Monterey Jazz as well. So he's a busy boy, but it's always as a matter of fact, the last time you and I were at San Jose Jazz together, because we have a picture, and I believe it was with our buddy Chris Wilder.
Chris Wilder, yeah.
And there was Michael Bublé was headlining.
That's
that
right.
day.
I was
That's
talking
awesome.
to Bruce Lavity about that, Michael Bublé. I said, that was a Friday night. And the neat thing about the San Jose Jazz Summerfest is that, it used to be free, and then they started charging. And Friday night used to be just kind of a throwaway.
Right.
They wouldn't program very much. And, that's when actually Bublé was there. He didn't perform, I don't think, that night. One of his band members was the Friday night headliner. And he was there in support, and he showed up on stage, and we got to talk to him afterwards.
Yeah.
But now Friday night has become a really cool night for that festival. They pack in people. They usually try to come with a little kind of different kind of headliner, like Common this year, is not someone you'd immediately think of for Jazz Fest.
Yeah.
Yeah, but cool.
Diversity.
Yeah, but
in
cool
action.
and
Love.
right, and it really brings in a great crowd that gets the weekend started off so electric.
Yeah.
So I love that they do that now. But yeah, there's lots of other things. We've got our big 4th of July event coming up, and you'll never guess what date that is.
Is that coming up? It's the 3rd, isn't it? Or no? Oh, I guess it is the 3rd.
They're going to do it on the 4th this year. It's the Rose, White, and Blue Parade. And this has grown into a really huge, started off as kind of a neighborhood parade and has just gotten bigger and bigger every year. And that takes place along the Alameda, which connects Santa Clara and San Jose.
Mm-hmm.
And it's a really, it's got this great mix of being sort of a family-friendly parade where you've got dogs and Cub Scouts and little kids on bikes. And then, of course, you've got all the politicians and the classic cars, and every community puts something in there. There's, a Vietnamese float or marchers, and Sikhs are handing out water. Everybody looks forward to that every year. So it's a really fun community event. Gets that holiday started off before everybody heads off to go look at fireworks, which...
And do they still do the fireworks at the river?
They aren't doing that. They've stopped that the last couple of years, doing them at Discovery Meadow. There's 2 big shows in San Jose. They canceled actually one at Elmendon Lake because it just got too big last year. 30,000 people came, and they said they actually was a fire nearby, and the fire trucks couldn't get there. So they said, I don't think we can do it this year for safety concerns.
Makes sense.
But there's one at Lake Cunningham Park. They're doing one again for the second year. Yep. And then the San Jose Giants have their big show, which is sponsored by the Rotary Club of San Jose. And,
fun.
And they close off the streets around there so people can watch from the streets without having to pay for a baseball ticket. So, and of course, seriously, all you have to do is look out your window these days, and somebody's shooting off illegal fireworks. You hear them all night long. But I think the professional shows are really good to watch.
Because I live in Monterey County, just south of Salinas, and that has a tendency to get a little bit like a war zone. And there are drones flying everywhere from the police checking people out. But you would think that sometimes communities get so against illegal fireworks, somebody should do a great drone show.
Yeah.
They do at baseball games nowadays,
Yeah, well, the drone. Remember the drone show, Sal, from when the Olympics was in Korea?
Yeah.
I mean, that was astounding.
I think we're going to get there. Yeah. They're really expensive.
Oh.
They're about, I was looking at them for an event, and they're like $25,000.
Wow.
But
that's expensive.
That's not cheap. But,
small car.
Yeah. It's a small price to pay for your dog's not getting suicidal.
I know, totally.
And it's true. And the battery, I think there's an issue with battery life that they're working on, and that's improving. But honestly, some people love to hear the explosions. Not me.
Interesting.
We started the show by saying that, Sal, that Rachel doesn't like fireworks, and
I don't.
Brando and I do like fireworks.
Of course.
Yeah. I'm kind of a Scroogey girl.
But you have all your fingers, unlike us.
I do like having I'm a piano player. Maybe that's why I'm so Scroogey. I don't know.
Is it wrong that whenever I see a news story about some guy blowing off his hand doing illegal fireworks, I feel good about that? Is that wrong?
No, I don't think that's wrong. I mean, it just said a little note that says "Best of luck, Lefty."
So funny.
Okay, so we've got that coming up. I alluded to CineQuest earlier. Are they doing their online festival during the summer?
No, they already did it.
They've already. That's all done. We're all done.
Yeah, that's all done. Until next March. Looking forward to that.
All right. So our friend Kathleen's back in the casket, but she'll be out.
Oh, wow.
Can I say
Jesus.
that?
No, I don't think you can.
We're about to find out if she listens. I love her.
He loves her.
We're going to find out if she listens.
That's a good call.
The other thing that's connected to the jazz festival that's happening is they're bringing in these giant Mexican statues called alebrijes. Mm-hmm. They're like magical creatures, like a catbird. They're 20 feet high. There's going to be 8 of them around downtown during the jazz festival, and they're going to stick around for a few weeks after that.
Is this like Day of the Dead stuff?
No, because it's not like skeletons, but it's colorful animals.
Okay.
But it's really kind of neat. They're on tour.
Okay.
So, so that's another reason for people to come up.
Because
cool.
And watch this segue, Rachel.
Yeah, I'm listening.
You know, when I was thinking of these big statues, I was kind of thought about Day of the Dead.
Of course.
And that big event. There was a film that opened.
There was a film,
Mexico City.
In Mexico City,
with
yeah.
Day of the Dead.
Back in 2015, 10 years ago, yeah.
What kind of movie was that, do you think?
That might have been a movie that director Denis Villeneuve probably saw.
I believe it might have been.
A James Bond movie called
Yes.
Spectre. Yeah, directed by Sam Mendes. Yeah, so we got some news on the Bond movie
Mr. Who
front.
knows, you think John Fitzpatrick knows New Orleans?
Man.
Well, I'll tell you who knows Bond. He's got a
I do know
007
that.
in Bond knowledge.
I do know that.
I remember, was it about 5 years ago you guys tried to stump me with
No,
the trivia
yeah.
quiz?
Couldn't.
Unstumpable.
Unstumpable. Now, had you like lost a leg to fireworks, it could have been stumped.
Maybe.
That's possible.
You didn't.
Is that wrong to smile at that? So, okay. So, give me some Bond news. Bond news.
Okay, so I'm just going to lay it out there. Amazon, bought MGM
Okay.
a few years ago.
Okay.
So that made them half owners in the Bond franchise. And what happened most recently, or a few months ago, is they kind of invited Barbara Broccoli, the longtime producer who took over for her dad, Cubby Broccoli. They said, how about you'd like to take a bunch of money and retire? And she said, okay. So she did that. And then Amazon brought in Amy Pascal, who used to run Sony Pictures,
Okay.
and David Heyman, who was the guy who was the big producer for the Harry Potter movies. And they said, we're going to let you guys produce the next Bond film. So
Now,
this
Sal, are you concerned about this?
no, I think
Okay,
it's a
you're
great.
good. All right.
I think it's a
Okay,
great
cool.
move. Amy Pascal is like really smart. She was actually involved when Sony was distributing the Bond movies. So she was involved with Casino Royale, Quantum of Solace, and Spectre, and Skyfall. So she knows the Bond films. And David Heyman, he's British. He's done a big franchise. So I think he can control that side of the filmmaking things, and Pascal's going to take care of the money. And this week they announced they hired Denis Villeneuve, who directed Dune and Dune 2, Sicario, and Arrival.
I love Sicario.
So they hired him to direct the next movie, which tells me we're probably going to be getting some casting news in the next few months.
All right. Do we know?
Do we know? No, we don't know. But there's some people.
Do we suspect?
Aaron Taylor Johnson's been the front runner for a long time. I don't know how familiar you are with his work. Okay, so he was in. He's been in some Marvel movies. He was actually just the star of the movie Kraven the Hunter, which was a terrible movie. But he was in that. He was also in Kick-Ass when he was younger, and the Kingsman movies, I think he was in.
Those are entertaining.
Yeah. So, but he is considered the front runner for this. He actually was in The Fall Guy last year. He's the guy that Ryan Gosling's character is the stuntman for.
Okay.
Yeah.
Now, speaking of Kingsman, who played in the Kingsman that played Elton John in the movie?
That's Taron. I can't remember his last name.
In Ghost. But the reason I bring it up is there's a series, and Rachel, you'll like this, on Apple that just started called Smoke.
Oh, I'm starting that show today.
Yes.
I'm finishing
It's
Stick and
very
starting that.
interesting.
Okay.
Very
Going
interesting.
from stick to smoke.
I got
Wow,
it.
okay.
Sometimes you got to do it. And who better than
and
me?
speaking of binging, Sal, did you watch?
I started your Friends and Neighbors.
And
That's
you like
what I
So
am right now.
cute. I know.
I'm loving it.
I
I'm
love
loving
it.
the first episode where he's explaining to the younger woman why you don't want to sleep with an older
So
man.
funny.
When I could never come up with a reason. But
Yeah,
the other
that's
one,
such a danger in our lives, Michael.
Sal, it is. But Sal, have you seen Tires?
I've
Oh,
not
Tires
seen
Stop.
Tires.
Oh, I'm telling you. And I'm going to say to folks, it's filthy. It's just,
Oh, yeah.
It's raunchy
it's
as
terribly
heck.
rude.
Yeah.
But it's like a version of The Office in a tire dealership. And it is. And who's the guy, the main
Shane.
guy?
Shane Gillis and
The thing
Steve
about
Urban.
Shane,
Okay.
God,
Shane
it's
Gillis,
funny.
though, He is a history buff.
Absolutely brilliant.
He's
in it, by
brilliant,
the way.
and he's a history buff. So if you watch his stand-up, he did a 3-hour podcast with Bill Burr where all they did was go deep on every single president.
Yeah, really.
This president did this and was, like really insider, like deep track stuff. It was really quite amazing.
Wow.
He's a historian.
Yes, check it out. You would love it. Okay, so what is our guess, getting back to Bond, pre-production, casting, we're looking at 2026. Is that the idea?
Yeah, I think they'll film in 2026, and with the movie coming out, and depending on when the announcement happens, because they usually make the casting announcement right before they're going to start filming with the new Bond. So if they make that announcement this year, you could see a movie by next Christmas.
Okay.
Would be
But
great.
I also wouldn't be surprised if summer 27.
Push it back a little.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
Quickly, blockbuster films for summer. Superman's coming out.
Formula One.
Superman,
Formula One.
F1. Yeah, F1 just opened. People seem to like it.
Nice.
New Jurassic World movie coming out this coming weekend.
Boy, can we go to the well one more time?
So many.
Hey, I will go to any well that Scarlett Johansson's
That's
in.
True
Okay?
dat,
That's
homie.
a good point. That is true. Did you see the new Mission Impossible? I hated it.
I did,
I
and
thought it
and
was so
the last 45 minutes were outstanding.
Yeah, but-
really eye popping. But
and very too
the 2
long.
hours before that were
The
really
half
hard.
hour underwater was way too much. And
Yeah,
speaking
that's-
very, very quickly about the things that's streaming, Titan, which is a documentary on Netflix about Ocean Quest.
Scary.
The guy was a real schmuck.
Scary.
And God, I'm sorry he died, but this guy was an idiot.
Oh, see, I didn't watch the whole thing.
and I don't need safety checking, and I don't care about. And talk about karma, but it is a fascinating documentary. It's a couple hours.
Okay.
It's called Titan.
Oh, and there was a young
Well, I'll
boy
put it
on
on my
there too.
list.
Yeah, there was a young boy, an Indian fellow who brought his son.
Not cool.
It was, and the preeminent expert on the Titanic, French fellow, was on that as well.
Interesting.
But anyway, Sal. So your column runs when?
It runs Wednesdays, Fridays, and Sundays in the Mercury News and online at mercurynews.com.
And are those new columns Wednesday and Friday?
Yeah,
or do
we
you run the same
we
one?
don't have reruns. These are all new, fresh material.
Wow.
Wow, it's
So yeah,
it's and that because I don't know a lot about AI. Is that chat? What is it? The right to
Chat GPT.
GPT? Okay.
Oh, yeah.
And they keep coming up with new ideas for you, though, right?
Oh yeah, it's
In theory.
amazing what.
That's amazing.
Yeah, that's what's going to replace me though.
Yeah.
One day.
Yeah,
But we'll-
they will never replace us
They can't
because
replace
we
you.
have nuance, and that's one thing AI doesn't do.
Yeah.
Ask AI
Well,
to say something funny.
I've got
Really,
nuance.
I'll
You've
write
got old
that
on.
down. I've got old aunts. I've got an old uncle as well. Anyway, good talking to you, my brother.
Thanks, Sal.
Thank you for having me. See you guys
We'll
soon.
talk soon. Don't you have to
Good.
go somewhere? Aren't you another? All you do
I
is
am.
you move
I'm-
around like a wayward
I'm
summer breeze.
gallivanting off to a law school event and then possibly a beer.
All right.
But that's
What a
it.
pleasant
Yeah.
afternoon.
Not necessarily in that
Wow.
order. Sal Pizarro. See you later,
Have
buddy.
a good day.
All right.
Ooh, a law school event. That must be. He's going to need a beer after
You
that.
hate hearing law school events. How
no,
are you
no,
doing
just
on your
no.
law
It's just
school
that
events?
sounds like a lot of nerds.
A lot of networking.
I like the nerds. Let's not,
No.
I myself am a
Oh,
nerd, so I'm not saying anything. But it's, when nerds.
Now, I know you have a boyfriend, but would you date a law student?
No, it's a lot of nerdiness. I
it?
mean, he's very smart, but he doesn't go on and on about nerd stuff, which I really like. Like he can kind of. He can go
can
there with me for
almost
a
fit
while.
in,
Yeah, like he'll go there with me for a while, and he's kind of like, all right, let's talk about something else. Like we like to kind of talk smack, It's more fun. Like walk around and talk smack. Like you can't always be nerding out, and you sometimes have to not just always be arguing. That's another thing is they love to argue. They love to
That's why they got into the
argue.
business.
No, totally. And they will argue. Like, there's this one girl who, like, she'll get on there and she'll correct stuff. And I'm just like, geez, sister, let it go. Like, you know, it's always Taylor Swift. She's vehemently protective of Taylor Swift,
Really?
which I totally love Tay-Tay. I'm
'Cause
totally
Taylor
into it.
needs some
but, you know, not everybody in the class is going to love her. I mean, you know, I love her.
Do you ever get together, or is everything Zoom?
Once a year we get together, and we did, and it was a herd of nerd.
Really?
For
And
sure. For like 3 days.
Did
3
you
days?
discover that there were
Exhausting.
people with attractive heads and really awful bodies? Or awful heads and really attractive
Well,
bodies?
it's interesting because you don't know how tall people are
That's right.
until you get into the
Hello,
same
how you
room.
doing?
So my one professor who didn't make it to the conference, she
he-
kept telling us, she kept saying, "Yeah, you guys are going to have no idea. I'm actually tall."
Yeah.
And we kept saying, "No, you're not." And then she didn't show up. So now I'm thinking, "Oh, she's not tall.
I'm 5'6".
She's not tall." Yeah,
But
no, I
compared to
know.
the Zoom, yeah.
Yeah, it's really. There are these two guys in my class that look exactly alike, and I'll
Okay.
show you a picture. It is shocking. They look exactly
But
alike.
they're not twins.
Twins.
right?
They're not the
twins.
same guy.
What
They're
are
not
those
twins.
called? Doppelgorps? What is this called?
Doppelgorps.
Doppelganger.
Doppelganger. Close.
Doppelgorps.
You were thinking of Dumbledore.
A little bit of
Yeah.
Harry
Right.
Potter for your afternoon.
We got weekend liner notes ready?
We do,
Let's do it. Today we head back to Broadway, but not empty-handed. We're bringing along a terrific young vocalist and a very hip arrangement of a Rodgers and Hammerstein classic. Premiering on March 29, 1951 at the St. James Theatre, The King and I would enjoy a 3-year run, countless revivals, and an Academy Award-winning film. The play is utterly charming. The storyline of the young British teacher Anna and her strained relationship with the King of Siam makes for a timeless score. Today's song, Getting to Know You, was introduced on stage by Gertrude Lawrence and later by Marnie Nixon, who dubbed the voiceover for Deborah Kerr in the 1956 movie. It's a very ancient saying, but a true and honest thought, that if you become a teacher, by your pupils you'll be taught. Richard Rodgers' lyrics are simple and sweet, and Hammerstein's melody infectious. Getting to know you, getting to know all about you, getting to like you, getting to hope you like me, getting to know you putting my way, but nicely, you are precisely my cup of tea. Veronica Swift happens to be my cup of tea, a terrific singer whom you should get to know. Enjoy.
It's a very ancient saying, but a true and honest thought,
Yeah.
that if you become a teacher, by your pupils you'll be taught. And as a teacher I've been learning, you'll forgive me if I boast. And now I've become an expert on the subject I like most. Getting to know you. Getting to know you. Getting to know all about you. Getting to like you. Getting to hope you like me. Getting to know you, putting it my way, but nicely. You are precisely my cup of tea. Getting to know you, getting to feel free and easy when I am with you, getting to know what to say. Haven't you noticed? Suddenly I'm bright and breezy because of all the beautiful and new things I'm learning about you day by Getting to like you, getting to hope you like me. Getting to know you, putting it my way, but nicely. You are precisely my cup of tea. Getting to know you, getting to feel free and easy. When I am with you, getting to know what to say. Haven't you noticed? Suddenly I'm bright and breezy because of all those beautiful and new things I'm learning about you day by day. Getting to like you, getting to hope you like me. Getting to know you, putting it my way, but nicely. You are precisely my cup of tea. Ooh, getting to know you, get to feel free and easy. When I am with you, ooh, getting to know what to say. Haven't you noticed? Suddenly I'm bright and breezy because of all the beautiful and new things I'm learning about you and yearning about you.
That is just marvelous. Veronica Swift and Getting to Know You. The A-Train, we're going to sneak in and we're going to get out of here. A big thank you to John Fitzpatrick and Sal Pizarro. Thank you for being here, you guys. Did a good job. Real quickly, we're not here next week. The week after, the 12th, Dr. John will be here. Hope to talk to James Dotson on his new book. The 19th, Colleen Bailey, who will be in the studio for the hour, who is now the president of Salinas Chamber of Commerce. Talked about President Roosevelt's grandson, Ford Roosevelt. We'll talk to him on the 26th and march on with summer. You guys have a marvelous 4th of July. Don't set off too many alarms. There are already too many fireworks. The show, as always, has been for Mark. I forgot the close. Has been for Mark, for Georgianne, and for you until 2 weeks from today, we once again raise the standards. I'm Jacoby. I'll see you soon.